What is going on, gang? How you guys are doing today on this Sunday? Man, this is a freaking football Sunday, man, I have to say. And a bunch of great games out there going on right now, man. So, but got to keep the show going, man. Got some shout outs to give out to some people in the comic book community. And yo, man, thank you all for hanging out right now. And with that being said, yo, I hope everyone is having a great weekend. A bunch of people are probably watching some football. And this is the place to be right now for a shout out to some people in the comic book community. I've been doing this show for this is the third year, man. This is the third year. And we're just shouting out people under 1K in the comic book community. So I got about 6 channels I would like to shout out. And hopefully, you guys check out these people on their channels, the whole 9 yards, man. Check them out because we got a bunch of great people in the comic book community. And this is what we do. With that being said, like I mentioned, I got 6 this week. I got their links in the description below, so feel free to check their channels out right now. Give me 1 second. All right, this may be a quick show, depending who jumps on. But we'll see here, man. But at number 1, I have to mention my homie Quinn's Comic Stash. I was checking him out the other day, man. My homie from Florida that moved to Indiana, man. And I saw his channel. He's trying to build up his comic book shop. And he's only 2 away, I believe, from 100 subscribers, man. So check out Quinn's Comic Stash. I just want to throw that out there real quick, man. And let's see who we have in the house right now, man. Yo, what is going on? Chillmonger in the house. Hello. It's live, huh? What's going on, man? We got TM Nerdy Travis, what is going on? Do I watch Dark Side of the Ring? Yes, I do. And I've been digging what they've been doing when it comes to wrestling. I really do enjoy it. A lot of dark stuff for sure, man. But more importantly, wrestling is one of the things I love. When it comes to comic books, it's wrestling, comics, pop culture, the whole 9 yards. But I want to shout out one channel right now, man. The G.I. Joel, Joel, at 146 subscribers right now, man. I could not find a homie on IG, but let's welcome Joel to the community and, check out his channel. Take a minute and check it out. So there's something interesting what he's been doing lately. He quit his day job. And there's a reason for that. He is gonna chase his dreams to open up a comic book store, man. So that is pretty dope. And quick shout out, like I just mentioned, the Quinn Comic Stash did pretty much the same thing. He moved and he's doing his own thing. But anyways, man, the Joel he's gonna be dropping a weekly video on his journey on opening his shop So every week you're gonna find a video on his progress, on his journey, or his updates onto this new LCS that he's gonna open up. But also check out the new comic book day videos and comic book reviews that he has on his channel, man. That is DGI Go, right? And let's see who we have in the chat right now. We have Scoot to Lou official. Hello, welcome to the show. We got Super Russ 9000 in the house. What is going on? Hello. All right, man. Hello, and I know this is football season, and it's going to be hard to do a show during football season, but we'll keep it going here, man. And we got at number 2, man. At number 2, we have one channel right now at 91 subscribers. We got Dank Comics, man. IG unknown. I cannot find him on IG, but don't forget, I have everyone links in the description below. So be sure to check out the channel. And we got Navs right now, man. Navs into comics, gaming, and he's just like us, man. We like some nerdy stuff, some pop culture, the whole 9 yards. That's how we roll. But check out his comic book call, the mill call, and he has a video on a grill comic. So go check that out. And there's one video that's kind of funny because it's an eBay book, and the homeboy is selling this, and he puts it in the description below as a beautiful copy. But Navs takes it to a different level, man, because when they say beautiful copy, it is not actually that beautiful. So check that out. It made me laugh so much. He went through the whole book through eBay and was just like, just showing you guys, it's just a beautiful book. He kept saying beautiful. But yeah, man. All right. Keep it going here. Who else we got in the house, man? Superior Hero Collectible. What's going on? We got TM in the house. Aggressively relaxing in the house. What is going on? All right, man. If you guys want to jump on and want to talk about your channel, yo, Marvin Wynn, what is going on? Hold on. Station. All right, man. Yo, all right. So at number 1, we had the DGI Joe at 146 subscribers on YouTube, IG under the same name. Excuse me. We got Navs Comics, 91 subscribers. IG, I don't know. I have searched, I cannot find them. But the next one I have right now, gang, I'll tell you guys right now. This is one cool channel, man, that I ran into. Like I said, I got the descriptions in the description. I got their channels in the description below. So we got Professor Comics at 188 subscribers on YouTube, IG under the same name. He is a teacher, man. He is a teacher. He teaches science. So that's pretty neat. So more importantly, if you want to talk about science with the professor, that's your thing, man. I remember back in high school, I graduated by 1 point in science. But anyway, man, So we got the professor right now, man. He is coming to us right now at 188 subscribers, man. So check him out. Instagram, you can find him under the same name. So that's pretty cool. Like the two-way angles, you can find some certain people in the comic community. YouTube, you got Instagram. Some people use Twitter. Some people use Twitch. But this is the way I do the show. The professor is going to be bringing you unboxing video. Most of them mystery unboxes, and he also has video on some CGC submissions. Dude, man, I've been thinking about doing something like that. So, yep, I gotta keep watching stuff like that, man. Submission videos. I gotta learn how to do things like that. More importantly, he has an unboxing on some slabs, man. So check that out. And the cool thing about it is that a lot of people in the community hang out, right? We hang out with other people in the community. And what he's been doing is he's bringing his young daughters, onto the show. Well, they make an appearance every now and then. So check it out. It's pretty neat. When I see something like that, I think of on Dank Comics for Kids. So that is pretty neat. What the Professor Comics at 188 subscribers is doing right now. It's pretty cool, man. They get the girls into comics, whether the girls or boys, whatever it is, man. But that's pretty neat, man. So shout out to you. Keep rocking, man. Keep rocking. Let's take a look at the chat right now. What? All right. So, well, what I'm gonna do right now, man, it's not often that I do this. But I copy the link, and if you guys want to talk about your channel, I'll paste it right here. This is the link if you want to jump on the show and hang out with me. All right, and number one was G.I. Joe at 146 subscribers. Instagram, I cannot find his name, but check him out, man. He quit his job and he wants to build up an LCS. So kudos to him. And we got Nav's Comics at 91 subscribers. Could not find Homeboy on IG. So check him out, man. Especially the video, what he kept saying. Beautiful copy. It was dope, man. And then at number 3, we had the Professor, man. The Professor Comics at 188. Instagram under the same name. So check them out right now, man. And let's see who we got in the house, man. Hope I did not miss anyone. Station. Yo, it's kind of hard, man, when you're hanging out on the show right now, man. You got a bunch of football games going on, man. It's nuts, but it's pretty cool. Whoa, holy coconuts, man. Wait a minute, man. We got Chillmonger in the house?
Hello.
What is going on, Chill?
Thanks for popping in my live stream yesterday when I was doing the Marvel questions.
Yeah, man. There was a bunch of questions on there. Oh, man. But I don't know. How you been, man?
I've been good. You know what? I was thinking about you when I saw the Daredevil run, because you're all about that Marco Cicchetto, Chip Zdarsky Daredevil, right?
Oh, man. I love all of that, man. Don't hit me no questions from left and right, man.
No, it's nothing like that. It's just like I'm hyped for the Devil's Reign thing that they have coming because I kind of like when the events are like at the ending of a comic book. I think it's the end, but when it's part of the comic book run, it feels like it's earned.
Yeah, well, I'm I'm scared, man. I really am scared that uh, this journey is going to come down to the end, and Chip is done. And man,
Done what? Done at Marvel? Done with Daredevil? What do you mean?
Daredevil only, man. That's my thing.
Isn't he at issue like 35? That's pretty long. It doesn't get longer than that. Al Ewing did Hulk to issue 50, right? So I guess that's the longest.
Well, what do you think, man? What do you think? How if someone's going to pick up Daredevil right now after is done by Chip? Who would you like to see
Like
do
who's
it?
available? Donny Cates has his hands tied up because he's just doing Thor. He's doing the Hulk, and I know he's got some independent work too, right? Uh, who
And
else
I
is
thought
there?
about Donnie. But I don't know, man.
A lot of them are leaving to do the Substack thing, which that's unproven. We don't know if that's going to be a hit or miss. I don't know. Daredevil he's not going to have a better writer than he used to. We know that.
Yeah, unless unless they're going to a route where you know Elektra is still there, and maybe a new story for Elektra. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah, while people were reading Daredevil, they got fond of Elektra. You have new fans of Elektra. Give her her own title. It wouldn't be the first time Elektra had her own single title, would it be? No.
no, she had her stuff before. Damn pets, man. Can you stop?
Hello, Trinity. What's going on? Station, Travis, Empire Comics. Hello.
What's going on, gang? Thank you for hanging out on the show, man. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I was kind of upset when I heard about the whole Daredevil thing, but anyways, man, chill, man. You've been rocking out some cool stuff. I know you've been rocking out with some live streams recently, man. If you guys have not seen Chill Longer, he's close to the 1K mark, man.
Almost.
So let the people know what you got going on, Chill.
I'm pretty sure next weekend I'll be doing a live stream where I do all my questions, all 33 of them. I think I'm gonna do Star Wars, but that's still up in the air. But I did Marvel last week, I mean yesterday, so you can always check that out. Search me up, Chillmonger on YouTube.
All right, sweet, man. Yo, quick shout out to a homie, a home girl, a couple, man. Skeletons, Key Comics at 471 subscribers. IG under the same name, man. This couple, Tony and Sammy, they call themselves the dynamic duo when it comes to the comic world, man. It's pretty neat to see these guys and girls going out there just hunting for comics and recording stuff too and showing videos on their channels of certain shops that they've been to. And one thing that caught my eye that I was kind of jealous because I have to say they were hanging out with Comic Town 101 and Fire Guy Ryan, and she's out there just recording. They went to like 6 shops, man. It was pretty neat. If you guys want to see a tour or a hangout with Comic Tom, that was pretty dope, man. So check out the videos. It's 2-part. So
Where's Comic Tom located? Is he up north?
Portland, if I'm not mistaken. Portland.
I thought he was in Washington State.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking about my other friend. Well, thank you for correcting me that, sir.
I don't know. I was guessing. I just feel like it's Washington State. But when you say Portland, I'm like, that's in the same neighborhood. Probably. But like basically, these guys you're talking about here, these Skeleton Key Comics guys, they've got to be in the same neighborhood if they're linking up with him, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir. For
Everett.
sure.
We stopped by Everett Comics, Phantom Zone Comics. Yeah, Everett is in Washington State.
Okay. All right, cool.
I know my American geography. You know how many like sports I watch and how many times wrestling goes to towns. It's wrestling. Wrestling. When they say we're in Corpus Christi, Texas, I have no idea what Corpus Christi is, except for when they go to that town because I think the arena is really cheap. But for some reason, that's like a not loud crowd. So I always hate when they go to Corpus Christi, Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I hear a podcast all the time, and my podcast is Solid Monster, and whenever he mentions Corpus, Texas, that crowd is not the best crowd ever for wrestling.
I love how they have a reputation. See, I didn't know Solo Monster was saying that, but yeah, everybody knows it's just a bad crowd. And Des Moines, Iowa, that one too. They don't. But now that they're champion, I think Big E, isn't he from Des Moines, Iowa? No, I'm wrong. He's from Florida. Seth Rollins is from Iowa.
What?
You knew that, Seth Rollins.
Well, I'm a wrestling fan, man. But lately, I don't care about the higher guys, man. I'm more into the lower guys, man. I look into, AEW, Ring of Honor, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's where my level is at right now, man.
Okay. Kota Ibushi. Who else do they got? Hiroshi Tanahashi. That guy's not going away.
But
Is Okada the best wrestler in the world?
No. Okada, man, you gotta have a match between Okada and if you had to put him against one of the top wrestlers from WWE, if that ever happened, I think you could put him up with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is he's hot right now.
I thought you were gonna say a real name. Roman Reigns, the best wrestler in the world.
Well, no, what he's doing right now on his product, is dope. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to go like this, man. So,
like, if we're comparing star power, sure, I'll give you that. If you're comparing like position in the company, of course, then it's fair. But I guess when I said wrestler, I wasn't specific enough. I mean, like when the bell rings and you get in a performance, you're going on an emotional roller coaster with a guy. I think Okada, if he's not the best, Kenny Omega is the best. It's one of those two.
Man, my wife, she said, "Don't say anything. Don't say anything." Uh-huh. And it's so hard not to say anything with what we did right there, man. Let's just say purchase, and hopefully, hey. Shut your pie hole. And
is it a big dog?
No, my dog's like this big, man.
So it's not a Roman Reigns fan. Get it, big dog? You get it? Remember, because he used to call him Big Dog. Maybe was it a pit bull like AJ Styles, like Marvin is saying? Remember that when he said, "I'm AJ Styles. I'm a pit bull." Like that was so weird. Vince always needs to rebrand these guys. He's the phenomenal one, He's AJ Styles. His nickname is his name. Like you don't really need to give him this. I'm the Pitbull.
Whoa, what's going on?
Well, hi. I didn't even know Vince McMahon still showed up on television anymore.
He can't show up anymore. With how old he is.
Man.
That's the thing. He said he wasn't appearing on TV anymore. At least a decade ago because I look too old.
I heard that too, but he really is too old.
Yo, it's crazy because I listen to certain podcasts, and he would take a script and rip it the day of the show, and then he does his own thing. So
You guys remember WrestleMania this year when it was raining and so they couldn't do anything in the ring? All of the guys got their own promo to talk about their matches. And you could see just who needs those scripts and just who didn't. Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens was flawless the way he was talking trash to Sami Zayn.
Because those are real actors. They put real time into their character. They're not just showing up for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I don't even watch wrestling to know this, but you can usually tell those that are really into what they're doing. And here, what question? What?
Mm-hmm.
It's true, man. It really is. And you could look at the product. I mean, we could talk about comics the entire night, man. But now that wrestling just popped up, yo, Monday, you got 3 hours of one company, and then you got Wednesday of 2 hours of a company. That company right now, man, is on a rocket. I mean, you guys remember when the WWE was on 2 hours and they wanted to go 3 hours. I remember that. That was 2013.
They had Monday Night Raw. They had Wednesday.
Proposed my wife.
Didn't it feel like every
I knew that was a disaster.
At least like 20 years ago, it felt as though that they had wrestling on Sunday, on Wednesday, on sometimes Monday. They had repeats at different times throughout the week on USA Networks. TNN was even trying to get in on it at one point. It feels like at least it's more channeled now.
Not really. There's just different companies with different nights. I feel like there's more every night on TV. You can watch wrestling, whether it's Impact or Ring of Honor or AEW, or Monday and Friday would be Raw and SmackDown, right? Like you can watch at any time. It's just that the WWE, like what Rod was about to say about the whole 3 hour thing. I remember loving it. 2013, 3 hours. I have all the time in the world. I'm young. 3 hour Raw, hooray! And then it's like, wow.
It was all just filler. It was all just, they got all this talent. And I'll say this too, AEW has all this talent. But 2013, man, I was like, oh man, I was watching this stuff with my wife. Watching WWE, laying down, relaxing, just watching wrestling. She's like, why you watch this stuff? I was like, it's a habit. It's a habit where I've been doing this for as a kid. And now it's like, I don't watch it. I want something, a better product, because the product that we see from that company is, for the younger generation. But we got something that's going on right now. But that's just my opinion, guys.
If I could bring it back to comics, I'm sort of that way with the X-Men stuff, because Jonathan Hickman was this head of X, right? And he's over here being the architect of this new wave. There's something happening in Krakoa. He's got phase 1. He tells all the writers on the team that, guys, I'm doing something. It's going to come to an end. So just so you know, when it's time, we're going to put our pencils down and we're going to focus into our new phase. And that time has come. Everyone, I guess they got a vote. And all the writers said, no, we're going to keep it here where we are right now. And Hickman's like,
what? This is just phase 1, fellas. Don't you want to know what phase 2 is? No, we're good where we're at.
I think with job security, though, you have to realize that these guys don't want to end their X-Force books and New Mutants and Excalibur and all the other ones, because they're getting a pretty good paycheck out of those because they're selling well, thanks to Hickman. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not going to have another Hawksbox style of event that's going to lead to even more profitable.
That's going to be the Inferno. But which is the title that they just canceled where they wound up killing off Wanda, and now they restarted it with a new issue #1, which is that Trial of Magneto.
X Factor.
There you go. So they already had to cancel one book because they felt like it was a better idea to restart with a new issue #1 and go from there. losing all momentum from the book that was originally started with Excalibur.
But those variant covers for issue number 1, it pays off for itself. Like, it's so worth it to have variant covers, to have, what's her name? Peach Momoko. It's so worth it for her to have her own Peach variant cover and all the Stormbreaker variant covers, because it's still working. Patrick Gleason's name on a variant cover is still selling. And so they'll keep doing this trick, and we'll still keep paying for it. They need to do what Rod is doing with wrestling and just be like, I'm not going to go watch Monday Night Raw anymore. I'm going to...
Yo, man, I will say, Gleason is been putting out some fire. Momoko is one area where I was like looking at the preview world, and I'm like, but Gleason's been putting out some great stuff. But that's just me, man. I mean, that's just my opinion when it comes to comic books and covers. So
nobody disagrees with that. Everyone here, even live chat, you guys can, like, Patrick Gleason and Peach Momoko are some damn fine artists.
Yeah, they are, and it's one of those things where if you guys like it, you can purchase it. If you guys don't like it, then you can go a different route, the whole 9 yards, man. And there's a bunch of variant covers out there for comic books. But more importantly, we're hanging out with Chillmonger. We're hanging out with Rob Wirtz in the house right now. We got the Killer Beast that want to jump on the show right now. All right. You sit down and you stay there. All right. So, man, this is the shout out show. And I want to shout out again, man. The first ones that I did. The G.I. Joe at 146 subscribers. Instagram, I cannot find them. We got Navs Comics and 91 subscribers. I cannot find them on IG, but check them out, man. Check out the eBay video, man. It was not stop. The eBay. He was just funny, man. And the professor at 188 subscribers. Instagram under the same name. And then Skeleton Key Comics at 477. Instagram under the same name. Check her out. With her, I believe, her husband or boyfriend. But pretty cool stuff you can find on that channel right now. Hanging out with Comic Town 101. Hanging out with Fire Guy. Oh my goodness, that was pretty dope. And all right, I got two more, but go ahead, guys. What you got, man? What you guys got going on before I mention them?
Did you just change your camera angles?
I do that.
I gotta learn that shit, man.
All you have to do is just plug in another camera in StreamYard, and without even having to download any of the extra crap, you just switch cameras with the cam mic option, and there's your second camera. I can even do it with a much crappier camera that came with this camera or with this computer, but it's much lower resolution, and no one wants to see me this close.
I do, right there, man.
No, that's not the one. No.
No, this is like way too close. So I have to have the one that's just a little further away and a little bit wider of an angle, and that way people can see everything.
What is everything? What's the prized possession behind you?
Man.
Well, the most prized possession right now is something that was given to me for free by another attorney because I'm a court reporter, and somebody apparently watched my show and went, "Hey, you're that court reporter comic book guy, right?" I'm like, "Who are you and how did you find me?" He took out of his little roller briefcase this, and he said, "It's been in my closet for years, and I figured you'd want this a lot more than I would." Superman number 7, it's the first appearance of freaking Perry White, but
I can't read that.
Signed by Joe Shuster.
Holy coconuts.
First page, it's split right down the side, unfortunately, but still.
You know what? At some point, those don't even matter. The splits.
Although, number 2 just came in the other week. Because I'm such a huge fan of this dude, and you might have seen from that other from that other camera angle. So one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. There's 2 of them, Barbara Gordon, Hal Jordan. I got Barbara a while ago. I just finally got this in last week.
Oh, holy coconut.
It's complete. That's about all I can say about it. It's probably maybe a 3.0 at best because there's no major rips or tears, but it is worn and beaten all to hell. But I am certainly glad I have this.
Beautiful.
Now I just have to get issue 1, 3, and 4 from the same guy that I got this from, and I'm almost complete.
All right, 1, 3, and 4, gang, man. If you're watching, hit him up, man.
Oh no, I already have a deal worked out. I'll be getting it in the next couple weeks.
Oh.
And it's like, yeah, I could use that same kind of money for a Hulk 181 or a GSX 1, but those are so plentiful. I can't get a Green Lantern 1 in raw condition for like a 6.5. Yeah, it just doesn't happen often. A Hulk 181 raw that you can see like 20, 30, 50 of them any given day on eBay.
Because that was, what, 1974 when Wolverine showed up on the scene. And by then, it was known, oh, these things are actually going to be valuable one day. From my understanding, I don't know everything, but because I'm new to comics, I started collecting like 2018, around that time. So forgive me if I don't know this, but everyone who has an Action Comics #1 was like a kid who just like, oh, I'm reading it, okay, throw it in the garbage. Like, collecting wasn't a thing in 1938. So that's why those are rare. But when you get to the 70s, it was understood if there's a new character, I should keep that comic, right?
So you want to hear something really screwed up for why there's really almost no Action Comics #1s floating around out there? So way back in the day, they did promote Action Comics #1, but no one really knew about superheroes, much less that this was going to be a huge character. So they put in like National Comics, I think 38, hey, there's this new comic coming out, but because of the war effort, if you show proof that you destroyed your copy, you'll win a prize. And that prize is $1 whole.
Oh.
They printed about 1 million of them. A lot of them were destroyed, and people had like little photographs that they would take with their crappy little cameras from back in the 1930s, send that in, and they printed out a list, I think in issue number 3 of Action Comics, of the people that won. You won the fact that you wound up screwing your family out of at least $1 million.
That's why.
And on top of that, Frederick Wertham wrote a book that basically said that if you read comics, you might be gay or a serial killer. So, hey, kids, chillmonger, take all your comics. We're going to church. We're going to the local book burning.
Is that why Stan Lee had that saying where he's like, yeah, serial killers drink milk too? You remember that?
Yeah.
I saw an interview where he said that. He's in reference to that?
He's referencing when you had Congress pulling up comic book writers and artists, and they'd have to testify in front of all these people in suits, and they were asking the question, are you a homosexual? I'm like, well, I'm a comic book artist, and I'm married, and I have 3 kids, and I'm being paid nothing, and I'm not even getting credit for it, and I'm the real creator of Batman. My name's Bill Finger. That actually happened. So, comics were really screwed in the 1950s until they brought in The Flash, because otherwise it was just horror comics that were being murdered out by Congress. It was a dark time. And really, you don't even see bags and boards until, 1980? I mean, real manufactured, put into the direct market bags and boards. Until then, people would just put it in saran wrap or any kind of do-it-yourself kind of bag and board as you could as a kid. There was no such thing as a bag and board, so you just preserved as best as you could. But you had collectors, even in the 70s and 60s, that would pay a few $100 for those issues that you just couldn't find anymore for higher prices. But you didn't see collecting the way it is today until about the early 80s. And then it just didn't stop until the 90s screwed things by, I'm going to put my kids through college with issue 75 of Superman. Wait, I can't do that? Oh, it's not $100 anymore because they printed so many. Now it's worth 20. Now it's worth 10. Oh, no. I give up. And people just got rid of their comics. That's when you saw comic book stores about a year later when they brought them back in issue 500 that they way over ordered, so much to the point that comic book stores were left stuck with all these comics that they spent all this money on that they couldn't recoup. Now they can't pay for their rent in stores. All these comic book stores across the country go out of business, and books that you were paying thousands and thousands of dollars for just almost within a period of a couple years started coming back down. I mean, you were seeing people paying maybe $1,000 for a 3.0, 4.0 Amazing Spider-Man #1 just maybe a decade ago. But movies saved it all. Thank God for movies and new readers. We want new readers. We want new collectors. Please come. We love you.
What sucks about all of those stores going out of business is that if they had internet, maybe, because right now comic stores all have communities and stuff, maybe they could share that. Yeah, by the way, I bought a crap ton of this comic and it's not selling. The other guy could be like, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Oh, it's an industry-wide thing. Okay, cool. I'll just know to be more sensible. They probably all thought, oh, it's just my store. What am I doing? They're probably going across the street to that guy's store. Like, there was a lack of communication.
Exactly.
Wasn't there, and they were a product of their time. And there they go.
So publishing, going back from the 1930s, the reason why you wouldn't wind up seeing a character that was an immediate hit on day one, like Superman, you saw him on the cover of the first issue, but you didn't see him on the cover for another comic for like almost 10 issues because the publisher of the book thought that it was stupid having this guy with the underpants on the outside and the cover of a book. This isn't going to sell. And then it sold wildly. So they didn't realize that until almost 10 months after the fact when they go, oh, we made a ton of money. Let's do this again and again. But it was a delayed reaction. And it was like that all the way through the 90s when it would take about 5 or 6 months at that point to get sales figures back. And Wizard started helping things from the early 90s to the late 90s. And then it started going out of business slowly because it was mostly instead of being a publisher, they wanted to be hey, let's do comic book conventions. Wait, we don't want comics. We want people that are, I don't know, wrestlers, singers, pop stars. It became not about comic conventions anymore. It was a pop star convention. There's the history of comics, like in 5 to 6 minutes.
Man, it's pretty cool, man. To, as a young collector, as myself, even though I'll be turning 45 this year, but I got back into comics in 2016. But I enjoy hearing what you have to say, Rob, and that's pretty neat. Because it makes me sit back and relax and just listen and be like, holy coconuts, man. This is pretty dope, man. And not only you, but chill longer, man. You guys got a bunch of knowledge when it comes to comic books. And I really do appreciate that, man.
Everybody you meet in life, you will find out that everybody you meet, there is something that they know that you don't. So sometimes I would just rather sit back and listen myself. Be like Coach Beard and Ted Lasso.
Yeah, man. Let me put her down. All right. Man, I want to run down the shout-outs right now, man. If you guys have not checked out these channels, feel free to check them out, man. Feel free to check them out on your spare time, man. We got the G.I. Joe at 146 subscribers. Instagram unknown. We got Nav's Comics at 91 subscribers. We got The Professor Comics at 188. We got Skeleton Key Comics, man, 477. And she's He's hanging out with Comic Tom and Fire Guy Ryan. That was pretty dope. So check out those videos right now. The low grade hero and the 143 subscribers. Instagram unknown. Just a cool homie. And if you're digging some Moon Knight books, that's your place to hang out, man. He purchased a Moon Knight book that I've never seen before. It's not even a comic book. It's like a mini book, and it's still bag and board. So check that out right now, man. And
if it's bagged and boarded, it probably came out after the 80s. Something I learned today.
Oh yeah, it's
Here's something you'll really like. If you wind up getting a whole bunch of comics in a row that don't have any boards in it and they're like really sticky almost together, it's not because anybody spilled soda on them. It's just after time, those propylene bags start to stick. So when you see all those bags together without any boards, you know that that's probably the first or second iteration of the plastic bags from like 1980 or 81, where there were no bags. Let's just put the comics in because we want to make sure they're protected from the elements. That was what they were trying to advertise in all these little trade magazines like Comic News. And you're seeing like things that haven't been touched since 1980 or 81. It's just nice when you're a collector and kind of a historian in the same way. I get excited about that, you can see.
I had to say, Rob has a fantastic room, man. The Hall of Justice, man. That is pretty amazing. You got some goodness there, man. And
this isn't 2 years of collecting. This is 30 years. No one should think that they can do this overnight. This is being a psychotic person that has gone to every new comic book Wednesday, every year, week after week for 32 years.
Oh, let me ask a question. You just made me think of this. So you know how DC switched over to Tuesdays. When did it become Wednesdays, like, before DC changed it? How long ago? How long has it been?
Always Wednesdays. It's been Wednesdays since Diamond has been the main publisher. There might have been times when they would get released to stores or their newsstands a bit earlier, but always the publication sale date is always supposed to have been a Wednesday. So since they decided to split off from Diamond during the pandemic, that's when they could say, hey, we're going to release it whenever the hell we want, which kind of screws with the stores that run it. But they're not thinking about the stores. They're just thinking about, hey, we run DC. You have to revolve your world around us.
Yeah, stores hate it. That's 2 trips that they got to make now.
Yeah, stores hate that shit. Even worse is the fact that it's double shipping. And now that they're using Lunar, Diamond, and now with both IDW peeling off, as well as Marvel, Penguin. So it's just more shipping fees that are going to be passed along to us. And if you want to know something even worse that no one's talking about, because very few people know about it, is the fact that these containers that wind up being shipped from China, these large things you see on ships, they usually cost about $10,000 for shipping for use of these containers. As of October 1st, that goes to $20,000. So expect to pay more in shipping for just about everything, especially bags and boards.
Thanks, DC. No, thanks, Diamond. No. You know what we need to do? Everyone just needs to move over to Penguin Random House, and we'll be fine.
You don't really want a monopoly. You kind of want them fighting because perhaps they could drop the prices of some of these books. We should not be paying $4.99, $5.99 for these things that they're also doing digital at the same time and still charging the same amount of money.
Well, you're wrong, man. I have to say, that's why I pre-order certain books, because a $10 book, if I go to my LCS, I can spend that money on certain books that they need the money. So I pre-order a lot, and I drop the video on IG Live. So, those are some books that I pre-order. Yeah, and that's what I do, man. Because if I go to LCS and drop $50-$60, that's a lot of money. I've supported the LCS, but if I can pre-order certain books and get a little discount, I'm happy with that, man. So that I support both ways. I don't know if you guys are, pre-order guys. I know some certain people do not like to pre-order or like to support the LCS, but when it comes to the pockets, man, you got to gotta. My wife says how much you spent, and I'm like, 40, and that's probably a lie. I'd probably drop 50 or 60. And that's on a regular Wednesday, man.
I think the name of the game is FOC because if you try going into the shop day one, you might be able to find this copy, but you're sure as shit not going to be able to find this copy.
There it is.
Exactly. Now, and you don't have to necessarily watch Economics and Comics, but it helps because he does show you what comics are going to be coming out later on, so you can actually order that through your store. And as long as you order it through your store and you pick it up and you don't stick them with the books, because it's important to make sure you don't screw your shop owner, you'll be able to pick up those books and not have to go, hey, did you wind up getting in the cool-ass DJ copy? It's like, yeah, I did, $20. Why? You didn't put it on your FOC. And they're going to just stare at you like you're an idiot. And
when you say FOC, you mean like a pull list?
So it's called Final Order Cutoff. And it's about a month in advance. And you can ask your shop, and they should be able to send you like an email or even a text. And then you can back check that against the internet, where you can look up the covers to see what's going to be a first appearance, what the story's going to be about. And that's how you can usually figure out. Because we knew that this was coming out as an open order for at least a month. And anybody that didn't know about it, it's because they just didn't do the research.
Yeah, I do that. And my comic shop says on the 18th of the month, that's like the last day you should tell me you want the book, or else you just got to go and see if it's on the shelves. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, I'll pre-order things all the time. I wasn't sure. Some of you're saying FOC, pre-order. I just say I subscribe to it. It's on my pull list. But yeah, different language meaning the same thing. Yeah, I always go to the shops. I always get the physicals. If I do buy digital, which happens sometimes, it's like 1 out of 30 times I buy a digital comic.
Yeah.
So here's where it kind of gets a little weird with the pull list. Oh, go ahead, Red.
Yo, it's like I there when I go to Preview World, I'll look at what the comics are dropping. Certain people use, the New York release. What's it called?
Midtown,
and they use that. Of course, Midtown's going to have a large selection, a massive selection. But my first thing is go to Preview World because that's linked up to my LCS. And then I'll see certain books. And especially the indie books, I'll click certain books that I like. And boom, and that's how I do it. I don't know how you guys do things like that. But shout out right now to Second Street Marvel, man. I hope you're doing okay, man. I know you had a wreck not too long ago, but he said no Marvel or DC books are worth $4.99. And hey, there it is, man. But I hope you're doing well. And Ron Wirtz wants to show us something. We can do that in a few seconds. Chillmonger, he was going to mention something. I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, what Trinity said. The Last Annihilation Wakanda was a great $4.99 book from this week. But most comics are not worth $4.99. That's right.
Yeah, man. It's expensive, man. Comics is expensive. Man, I
don't like when they do here's your $4 comic book. But then we're charging you $4.99 because when the comic is done, there's this short story which is like 5 pages long, and no one's ever going to reference what happened in this short story. But it's like the anniversary of Captain America, so we feel like we have to do it. Here he goes. I hate those $4.99 books.
I just wish that they could wrap it into a regular part of a run instead of giving us another one shot, because they know that when we see an issue number 1 on a comic, hey, let's pick that up just in case. How often are we really seeing major first one shots become something that is like a $30, $50, $100 book? It's very rare, but they have our number as just Speculators.
Yeah. We also got to give love to I'm not a speculator, but of course I have speculation thoughts. But the actual speculators, but the guys with the key collector app, like the Toms of the world, all the love and respect to the world to those guys, because they're out there buying multiple books and they're doing CPR on the comic book industry. So I want to give them credit all the time, even though they're kind of looked down on as like, oh, you guys are responsible for this. No, they buy books. Let's just love them.
People look down on them in the same way that when you make a certain amount of money and you're watching other people spend 10, 20, 50, 1,000 times more than you do, and you're just really rankled by the fact that you can't, you're thinking that they're harming the industry, when in reality, they're just pumping money into it. And sometimes the industry needs the money. And we can't afford every book. And just like to reference the movie Clerks, sometimes you have to let that hard-to-reach chip go.
Great movie.
But the screen that I was trying to share was the leagueofcomicgeeks.com. And what that is, it's not that I'm trying to advertise for anybody. So if you're trying to look up comics that are coming out on final order cutoff, this will give you from week to week what's coming out. So you can wind up going several weeks ahead into the future, so that when you see that X-Force 24's, this was on FOC this past week. So everything that's 10-13 here was on FOC this past week. So you can go to Wonder Girl, find out all the different covers that's coming out from it. Usually it'll say new character or some bull crap like that to try and get you to buy a new book. But you can go issue by issue to find out what's coming out from all the different companies that are out there. So when new books are coming out, we don't really have an excuse anymore, because we have the internet. And as long as your store is willing to do final order cutoff, you do it.
They got us though with Amazing Spider-Man. It might have been 62.
But the unfortunate side is,
what? No, finish up.
Oh, no, I was just saying an unfortunate side is there's one book like I'm going to mispronounce this. Kwanzaa Osejafo put out a book called Black, and the new book is called White. It has 2,500 copies to be released, but stores ordered about 78,000 of them. So, yeah, nobody really got the first print of any of the first issues. So everyone's getting the second print, and it's caused the first print to just artificially skyrocket. So you can order something, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it.
Well, I have to say, man, I ordered some action figures, some He-Man action figures from DCBS Services back in April. I'm still waiting for my homeboys to come to the house, man. But I just, that's just a little pre-order thing. But
they're already your homeboys.
Well, they're homeboys, man. If I could turn around this camera and you can see what I got going on here, man. Comics and toys, it's just escalating, man. It's just toys are just taking over the room right now. And I'm talking to the wife today, and we're talking about expanding the house and doing something. So it's nuts, man.
Question: are you going to expand the house outwards, or are you adding another floor?
Well, she wants to expand outdoors. And she's like, we could put ACs out there, the whole 9 yards. I kept shaking my head. I was like, I don't need my comics outdoor in a shed. And she was like, well, we can make it like a house and the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, and at the very end, I just said, yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
If you could get the permits pulled, and it wouldn't be that expensive, you just have to plan it out. But you could extend your house a little bit further out. And if you're worried about another air conditioning unit, it might run you about $2,000-$3,000. Yeah, it'll be harsh, but at least you'll have a very well air conditioned, larger space for more stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. So, oh, good Lord, man.
But I agree with you. No shed.
read Gino's comments. He says, "No worries, Rye. Just send me your Daredevil run, and I'll hold on to save you some more space. Just looking out for you, bud."
All right, Gino. You got it right here, buddy. This ain't going nowhere, man.
I'll get that soon enough. Again,
man, it's crazy, man, because all the high grade books I got behind me, those were all AOKs, man, and it's nuts that I have these things behind me, and it's nuts. And certain things I had purchased, I'm looking at something right now. First appearance of Taskmaster, that came from Dank Comics with Kids, but
delivery's here. I'll be right back.
All right, cool.
Comic book boards, 500 of them.
Let's see here. Dave Enrique said, "Mod, the paper quality is upsetting.
Mm-hmm.
Cover color rubs is the new spine ticks. I've been putting modern books in current size in bags alone, and putting that in regular bags. Do you agree with that, Chill?"
You probably read a lot of Marvel. I've just started reading DC because Static and Hardware and Icon and Rocket came out, and I'm like, let me give those Milestone a chance. They have much more better paper quality here on DC than they did for Marvel. I find that more glossy, but I'm a fan of the insides of DC. Are you referring to DC, Dave? Enrique? Are you referring to Marvel Comics and not DC? Or are they both bad compared to yesteryear?
All right, we'll find out what he has.
Oh, Second Street says, "Not true. Volt Comics has great quality paper, inks, etc. And so does Boom Studios."
And not to leave out,
I'd agree with that.
Behemoth Comics got some good stuff too, man. Their covers, those they put out, like, how can I say? I'm distracted because she's so nervous, but they put out cardstock on their comic books. So Behemoth, shout out to you guys too, man.
Yes, mostly Marvel. Do cardstocks, they charge an extra $1 for that at DC?
Behemoth does a good job too. They're almost like acetate along with the cardstock.
Which publisher did you say?
Humanoids.
Humanoids.
They put out Space Bastards with Derek Robertson.
Sweet.
But yeah, and for the most part, I would absolutely agree that just about every single book, whether it's Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, I pull them out, and I keep these all in double boards. But I can pull out the board of each and every one, and there's going to be a line going down the spine right there. That it's just color rub, and that's just bad printing. It's cheap printing.
The Ice Widow said, "Can I have a shout out?" Yo, man. Well, you're hanging out right now on the show, man. So if you have an IG or a YouTube account, hit me up, and then you can hit up these fine gentlemen right now, man. We're hanging out with the Chillmonger. We're hanging out with Rob Worst. They'll be more than happy to give you a shout out as well, man.
Hello, Ice Willow Com. Shout out.
Sub up, Ice Willow. You're gonna learn something.
Don't forget to smash that like button.
Comics will break your heart. Jennifer, she's in the house. Jennifer, the Killer Beast is here, man. What is going on, Jennifer? Welcome to the show, man. We're hanging out, and thank you for hanging out on the show right now, man. We're pushing 1 hour and 5 minutes, hanging out with some cool homies in the comic community, shouting out some people in the comic community. I have all their links in the description below, man. Feel free to check them out whenever you have the time. But we got right now on the panel right now, we got Chillmonger, we got Rob Worst right now. We got the Killer Beast that is quiet. She's behaving. So So we'll keep it going here, man. But we won't keep it going that long because, you know, I know gonna
We
be.
got things to do.
What was that?
We got things to do.
Well, I got the wifey. I know she's gonna video chat in a few seconds. So, Mr. Chillmonger, man, let the people know what you got going on. Are you close to 1K, brother?
I'm close to 1K. I'm going to be live streaming every Saturday. So check me out at Chillmonger. I'm going to talk about Star Wars next week. And I'm probably got a comic book video coming up because there's a lot of people who seem to not know what a multiverse is and what a universe is. And I'm going to have to straighten up the language. And I got a video coming up for that. Okay? Universes, multiverses, Loki, all of it. It's coming.
All right, there it is, man. Mr. Rob Worst, what you got going on? Let the people know.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rob Worst. I host a little show called Not Near Mint every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Over on my channel, it is Not Near Mint. My name's Rob Worst, but I'm just one of many people on this show. We got Ace, we got Lady Fantastic, we have Miracle Man, and we even have Kirk, who is Comics on the Mind. And we got Whack Comics all the way from Australia. We're an international show. We like to have guests on that are, they promote Kickstarters. They're non-toxic. We make sure that they're inclusive for the entire community. We are not associated in any way with those CG trolls. And we just want to promote unity within the comic book community because we need more people that enjoy comic books, because this is how we make sure that the love that we have for our hobby continues on to new generations. Check us out, 10 p.m. this Wednesday and every Wednesday on Not Near Mint.
Wait, so this is not a Comic Skate channel?
All right, man. It's been a good time hanging out with these fine gentlemen. Be sure you hit the like and subscribe and follow Rob Worst and Chillmonger, man. The people in the chat in the house, man, it's been pretty dope, man. We got Chaos and Comics in the house, man. Some channel members in the house. Cardboard Crazy, thank you so much. Special shout out to the channel members, man. Thank you so much for your support. You can do that, man. All you gotta do is click that join button for $1.99, and you can support the channel, man. Support the channel. And speedy recovery to like I said, man, to Second Street Marvel, man. Hope you're doing well, sir. The pictures that I've seen on that bike was kind of hot garbage water. So I hope you're doing well. So speedy recovery.
If he's still breathing at the end of the day, let's call it a win. I'm glad that he's still alive.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. That is, he's doing well. Apparently, he's doing well. He's got a brace on.
I mean, but was he ever really doing well, though? You've seen his videos. Wouldn't say this guy. I'm playing. I'm 100% joking.
Do you want to send him to Molly then?
No, don't even do the what do you call the drugs the painkiller stuff? Don't even rely on those. And
nothing with morphine, no opioids, nothing with don't do that.
Yeah, stay away from that stuff. So, yeah, he walked away. He's probably gonna. Well,
it all starts with taking oxycodone. Before you know it, you're freaking speedy and you're injecting things. Don't do that, because rule number 1, folks, don't die.
Absolutely, because there's no resurrections here. There's no Krakoan protocols.
We don't have a Lazarus pit in real life, and we're not mutants.
Exactly, man. He said, no, we're not Krakoa. Now you mention that. I've read Marauders, and I don't know if you guys have read any Marauders.
I have every issue. Haven't read the last 6, 7. It's
all right. The last issue, there was a little at the very 2 pages at the very end, and there's some space stuff going on. And well, I guess we may have lost some people, but I don't know, man. I gotta wait and see if that's really accurate. You gotta read the last issue, Marauders, man.
I mean, to be fair, a couple months ago, I thought that because they wound up advertising a particular issue of Captain Marvel, where it looked like she went to a bar to get drunk, and she's very much like Tony Stark, and she's sober. She's supposed to be fighting against that urge, and I thought that they were going to have the writer go, yep, no, she's just going to get wasted with Doctor Strange and going to wake up in bed with him. It's like, no, she didn't break that. She stayed like Tony. She stayed sober, but certain people you don't want to breach that with.
Yeah, man. And so if you get a chance, man, Marauders is gonna blow your mind towards the end of the book. In the last couple pages, you're gonna be like, whew. I actually reach out to John Comics with Kids because he's a big X-Men guy fan, and I know he's been picking up a lot of X-Men books. I said, did that really happen? And he was like, I think so. So, just saying, man. Just saying.
Okay. I'll check it out.
I have it back here. I guess now I'll have to read it because now I'm a bit more curious.
Man, just hit me up and let me know your thoughts on it, man.
It makes sense to me because Jerry Duggan is doing Marauders. He's also I guess he's the head X-Men guy now because he writes the X-Men comics. So maybe he is given the ability to make some sort of ground shaking stuff. So we'll see what this big surprise is.
More ground shaking than making Mars a planet ruled by mutants.
Yes, exactly.
That was pretty cool, though. I have to admit.
Yeah.
Although, one last bit of breaking news, Rod, you're still in the state of Florida, right?
Yeah, man. The state of Florida. God.
Well, breaking news. Tropical Storm Rose forms, becoming the 17th main storm of hurricane season 2021. Surrounded by expensive paper, it's like the thing we fear most, water damage.
Yeah. I don't know if I should be smiling, but that's something to consider along with everything else. Yeah.
Rod, you remember last year when we were, what was the hurricane that I think it was last year or the year before we were both talking about? We were both worried about it. We were getting ready with our entire collections, like putting it in trash bags, making sure just in case if the roof would come off.
Yeah, well, at least mine's not like yours. I took all my boxes and I put them in trash bags, and I put them in the living room. And then I get a text from it was a text from the VP of doctor. He was like, "We're going to work the next day." I was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "We're going to work the next day? We got the storm coming?" And the storm did not hit us. One of the clinics was closed down, but we were completely open. And let me tell you, putting everything back into this room was a pain in the coconuts, man. I was so freaking mad, man. But
I know exactly how you feel.
I see your stuff, man.
There's at least 75 long boxes that you can see throughout this entire damn place that I had to put in trash bags.
That's what I did too.
And then anything that was on the bottom shelf, I moved up into the other room and then put heavy crap underneath. So, because I'm always worried about shit collapsing because, well, that was even before it's Surfside. But could you imagine going, oh, what was that noise from the other room, coming in here and then seeing all the DC just crumpled on the floor? It's a fear. It's a fear we have.
I use short boxes, man. I use short boxes. The long boxes is going to break my back. So short boxes is the way for me, man. So that's, I mean, if you really think about it, you get two short boxes that completes one long box, but they're easy to maneuver.
You're really not sacrificing that much. It's just, a little bit this maybe more of cardboard that 2 short boxes is going to fill. Yeah.
I'd agree with that. I think there's going to come a time where I will have to do that, but I'm right now at the point where I'm taking 16,000, almost 17,000 comic books and going to take every single one out of these BCW bags, because anything that's over like 1990, they start sagging. And comics that sag, or rather the bags, if they sag, I'm sure I could pull an X-Men book out here where I'll take the book out and you'll see the imprint of the saggy bag onto the comic itself. So you don't want to have a saggy bag, and anything that's newsprint, that's going to, especially in the state of Florida with all the humidity, make your bag saggy. And I can't believe I'm talking about saggy bags on the internet, but here we are.
A quick shout out to my homie, Iggy7129. He's on Instagram. He's been collecting as a kid. He's probably as old as me, or older. I believe he's older, and he's battling stage 4 colon cancer. And the homeboy is big. I posted pictures of his storage units, and he has over 300,000 comic books. And I've reached out to him. I said, do you have a Star Wars #1? He goes, yeah, I have 3 of them. He would not sell it to me. He's just, that's his thing. He loves his comic books, and he has two kids right now, and he's just just battling. And ASM 129, man, I love you, bro. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I had to do that. So
that's right.
Well, at least his family, if anything happens, they'll be taken care of, because they will have all that stuff that bit by bit that they can get rid of. As long as they're aware of it, hopefully all of us, we kind of have a bit of a plan for all this crap around us for one day. Because me, I don't know about you guys, you have people that love you. I can't say the same for myself. I'm sure that if I wind up checking off tomorrow, I'm going to have my best friend over here go, okay, how do I use OfferUp? Click, click, click. Come pick this crap up and I will pay you $100. You're going to wind up seeing that Google notification one day.
Oh, man, don't say that, man. I'm pretty sure there's someone connected to you that's going to want to hold on to your collection, man, the same way as Chill, in the same way as myself. My wife said, I'm going to sell all your crap right away. I'm like, go for it. She already knows the slabs and everything behind me. She's going to sell those jokers right away. But, it is.
Rod, you should see the expression on her face when she comes into this room. It looks like this. It reminds me of when I told this girl back in like middle school, I like you. And it's the same exact expression, which is an expression of horror, and it looks like this when she walks in this room to see the comics.
Yeah, and we were talking about that today, expanding rooms and the whole 9 yards with the house. Yo, man, quick shout out to Brandon Looney Tunes 2K. Only 92's away, man. Well, hang out with us right now, man. Jay Hood in the house, man. What's going on, Jay Hood? How you doing? How are you doing? All right. If you guys don't have anything else to say, we're about to end the show right now, man.
Good to go.
No.
All right, gang. Thank you so much for hanging out on the Shout Out Show. Make sure you check out the channels that I mentioned in the description below, man. I'm your boy Rod the Rican, man. Thank you so much for hanging out. With that being said, stay classy, comic book community, and I'm gonna do a little
Daffy Duck. That was answering somebody apparently in the chat.
Oh, Porky Pig.
Subscribe